Welcome into the Analyst in the Armchair, an NFL podcast where one host is obsessed with stats and spreadsheets, and the other just really loves yelling at the TV on game day and has plenty of opinions. Together, Michelle and Nycole dive into player news, weekly matchups, and all the storylines you'll be talking about with your friends. Whether you're a hardcore or casual football fan, they've got something for you.
Welcome into the Analyst and the Armchair. I'm Michelle. I'm the analyst part of the show. This is Nycole. She is the Armchair. And it seems like the Armchair has been knowing a lot more than the Analyst lately. And her team beat my team. And now, yeah, I get it. The 49ers won, but Steelers are my first team for my love of my life. And the Texans destroyed them. Destroyed.
Yeah, mostly their defense.
Yeah. I mean, it was a close game for a very long time. And
Sure.
then it just went
and then it wasn't.
rails. Yeah. And it was just, and watch, I mean, we live in Houston, right? So I'm out watching the Steelers game out in Houston, and
Monday night.
not only with just her, but the rest of the crowd was all Houston.
200 other people.
Yeah. All Houston fans. They're all really nice. I'll say that. Only one guy at the end was kind of.
Well, he
kind
just,
of an idiot,
he
but
wasn't.
It was fine.
He was excited.
Yeah, it was fine. But then they did the rudest thing ever at the bar.
Oh my gosh.
Can we talk about this?
Y'all,
So
it was so good.
me and my wife are already so sad.
Mhm.
So sad watching the Steelers
In
lose.
in their whole garb, all black, yellow.
Oh, we have
everything.
everything on. You know, we have
Their
the whole-
towel, even the infamous towel I just learned about last week. Yeah.
Yeah, have everything. And this is at the point, I think they're done 23-7. I don't know what it was.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. And they play black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
It was
at the Houston bar just to be jerks.
It was
Just
pretty
to be jerks.
savage. It was pretty savage.
And Kate
And I
cried
lo-
just a little bit.
And I loved it.
We're gonna just throw her under the bus there. She cried just a little bit.
Yeah.
I held in my tears, but I definitely didn't want to cry. But yeah. Anyways, that was disappointing. But your Texans move on. We'll be talking about them today. My second team, the 49ers, moved on, so at least I still have them.
Sure did.
And since, I said if the Steelers were to lose, because I was so confident, I now have to run the 10K with her. So
That's how confident she was,
Yeah.
everybody.
for those of you who have been along this ride, she has to run a 10K with an Aaron Rodgers jersey because she lost the game picks throughout the year. I do not have to wear a jersey, but I did say I would join her in the 10K if the Steelers lost against the Texans because I'm an idiot.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we're getting ready for that.
Now, one thing did come out of the Steelers losing. We get a rebuild. So we're going to talk about Mike Tomlin getting fired. Well, not getting fired. Step down. Let me clarify. There's some teams that are moving on from their OCs. We got a quarterback getting a fifth-year option, which I think is crazy. We'll get to all of that. And then our divisional round games, discussions, picks, all that good stuff right now.
The opening drive.
Mike Tomlin era. Officially. Are you going to make fun of me for saying era?
No, I was just going to say it's done.
Oh, okay.
You said era nicely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
It was an E, not an A, so you did fine.
Okay. Mike Tomlin era. Finally, officially done in Pittsburgh.
Sure. I mean, here's the thing. I saw Emmanuel Acho. He did a little, TikTok, Instagram, whatever video. And he said something that I really appreciated because Mike Tomlin never had a losing season, good record, blah, 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 all these things. You can appreciate all of that. I'm not negating that. But his one quote, which, I mean, everybody says, but good is the enemy of great. And I feel like that is the perfect way to sum up the last 10 years of Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh.
It felt like every year when they made the playoffs, it was like that was their Super Bowl. Like just getting to the winning record and making the playoffs was everything. And then I felt confident in Tomlin this year. I thought he was going to change things, and he didn't. I mean, I get it. It was close for a while, and they didn't get destroyed. Like normally, they're down by 30 by half.
Sure.
Okay, this time they only lost by 20 by the end of the game, but you can't lose by 20 every single year in the wild card round. And I mean, to give him credit, because I did say Mike Tomlin firing, it did seem like Art Rooney came out and said, I was ready to roll back with him. Of course you were. Thank you, Mike Tomlin, for just stepping down.
Well, I think he
you.
also had to say that, right? Like,
No, I don't think he did, because normally it would just be part ways. and whatever.
Hmm.
And he didn't have to come out and say that. I thought it was very much to save face, but he didn't have to say like he came out and said, I was not expecting this conversation. I was expecting him to say like, let's run it back. But Tomlin feels disrespected in Pittsburgh too, and fine, okay,
Which
like,
he should. I
yeah.
mean, they're booing him and literally
Yeah.
yelling, "Fire
I mean,
Tomlin."
He keeps
so.
winning games. I'm not saying it's going to be better without him, but it can't be worse. And I mean, where it does not matter if you go 3-14 or if you go 9-8 over and over and over and get killed in the playoffs. The same result happened, except you now have no draft position to get a quarterback.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, I don't remember 2 years ago who was in the first round of the playoffs and who was the last team. It's
No.
all the same.
And listen, if he was winning wild card games and we just going to get past that, fine. But you cannot get destroyed every wild card game. You can't. It's not even like it's close. So I think like his message in the locker room was no longer working. And this is like Andy Reid got, the Eagles moved on from him. And it was great for both sides.
Totally.
The Eagles have won a couple Super Bowls since moving on from him. Obviously, Andy Reid has, because he got his quarterback and Patrick Mahomes. Like, Mike Tomlin, you go find your dude, but you can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. You needed Bill Cowher's defense. You needed Ben at a young age. Like, it's
true. It's
Yeah.
true. Can I just say one thing, though, about the game?
Mm-hmm.
If that was Aaron Rodgers' last game, which God help us if it's not, the fact that his last play ever, and I know everyone's talking about it, but I have to say it, was an interception first. Amazing. Amazing. And then secondly, he goes to try to block Bullock from getting the pick six.
So he tries to tackle.
He tries to tackle him and just gets like knocked out of bounds. It couldn't have been a better ending to Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, than that.
Yeah. I don't think Aaron Rodgers will retire, but I don't think it makes, I think if they brought back Mike Tomlin, Aaron Rodgers would have been back. Right now, they're going to have to look. They have to get this right. And I don't think any head coach coming in is going to be like, yeah, I'll do Aaron Rodgers for a year. Like, no, this is time to start the rebuild. You get your whole new coaching staff. Thank goodness for Terrell Austin to be gone. Arthur Smith, I do think he did fine. There was not many offensive pieces. So, like, whatever. Like, that was fine. But the defense, you're the highest paid defense in the league. And Terrell Austin was straight garbage. Now, they might go with Brian Flores is the biggest rumor, which they could have just had him a couple years ago as DC, and Mike Tomlin would probably still be happy with his job and maybe a playoff win or two. But they stuck with Austin at that point for whatever reason. But yeah, we'll see who they hire. I'm hoping for Robert Saleh. Brian Flores, maybe we'll see. But Saleh looks like he might be the Ravens' next head coach, which I hate.
Sure.
I would hate that.
Well, you would hate that, yeah. As a Steelers fan, sure. Yeah. But for Robert Saleh and how great he's done with San Francisco, you would appreciate it for that reason.
And everyone stinks with the Jets, so I'm not going to hold that against him. And the Jets defense has fallen apart since Saleh has left. Moving on, Eagles and the Chargers both fired their offense coordinators after losing in the playoffs. The Eagles move on from Kevin Patullo, and the Chargers move on from Greg Roman. The Greg Roman hire was always stupid. So, okay, they lasted 2 years, move on. I will say, like, the tackles both being hurt, sure, Justin Herbert cannot play in the playoffs, but it was a very uninspiring offense. Move on. And with the Eagles, this just wasn't the play. I mean, all the players are like, okay,
if I'm an Eagles fan, I am like, fire everybody, right?
Well, the OC, really.
Well,
honestly, the DC was great. And I think next year on he's fine.
Well, I'm going with him, right? But offensive coordinator, like, you did not run the ball half as much as you should have this year. So yeah, I'm all for it. Good for them.
Yeah. We'll see what changes they make. I really love Brian Daboll, the Giants head coach who got fired. He was great with the Bills. He also made Daniel Jones good for a season. I know also Jones was good with the Colts, and then Jackson Dart, was much better when he was under Brian Daboll before he got fired. So Brian Daboll's good with these like mobile quarterbacks that are kind of dual threat. Obviously, Jalen Hurts fits that mold a little bit more, but Herbert can run. I would love him in either of these offenses, but I'm hoping for the Eagles. And then Bryce Young gets his 5th-year option picked up. He's only headed into his 4th year. So you have to pick up your 5th-year option before your 4th year, right? So not only are they saying, we're going to stick with you next year, we're going to also stick with you the year after. And I think that's kind of crazy because Bryce Young, even in his best year, was still very below average.
And 8 and 9, and that was kind of a fluke, really, and yeah, the Carolina situation is kind of absurd. Rico Dowd came out and was like, I deserve to be RB1 and paid. And does he though? I'm not sure, right? He had a few really great games this year, right? But does that make you an RB1, right? I don't know,
Yeah.
especially with this offense. I don't know. I mean, anybody in the NFC South, I'm like, I don't think you're as good as you think you are, right? So, but Bryce Young, it's shocking
Like
to
they
me.
made the playoffs with a losing record. Like that's not something you're excited about.
Yeah, I don't really get that, but I mean, this is one of those franchises that's like fine with being fine. So,
yeah, I mean, I guess they're thinking, who else do we have? But picking up the 5th-year option's wild to me. You didn't have to do that, and if he breaks out and blows up next year, then you just pay him. You're excited, right?
Sure.
But I mean, he's never thrown more than 23 passing touchdowns, and that was this year, and it was by far his highest. That's not great. He played 16 games, 11 interceptions. He had a 63 completion percentage. That was the highest of his career as well. Mm-hmm. Not good. And then, he keeps upping his passer rating slightly, but it started at 73, went up to 82, and then is now at 88. Those are all below average quarterbacks. Right. So what are you going to wait 10 years for him to finally get to the 98 mark where you're an okay quarterback? Like, I don't get it. But good for them, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
All right. We're going to get into these divisional games. There's some really, really good games. There's so many good defenses in these matchups. We're going to start with the one that we think can be the biggest offensive game of the week, and the others are going to be bad tolls on defense. Let's get into it.
Between the 20s.
They have the Bears-Rams, which should be the biggest offensive game of the week because the Rams defense is solid, but they can allow points. I mean, we just saw the Panthers put up a lot of points against them last week. We thought that game would be, the 10-point favorites that they're giving the Rams, that was always crazy against a playoff team. But the Panthers were able to put up points, and it was not hard for them. So the Bears offense is much better than the Panthers, and the Bears defense is worse than the Panthers. So I think this is going to be a very high-scoring game. Both teams are top 10 in scoring and total offense. I mean, the Rams are number 1 in each, but I mean, I think this is a coin flip. But what do you think has to happen for you're picking the Rams, I'm picking the Bears.
Yes.
But what's your number 1 thing that you think has to happen for you to feel confident in your Rams pick?
Matthew Stafford cannot turn over the ball. I mean, that is bar none. He can't do what he did last week, which is just kind of la 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 until the end of the fourth quarter and then say, let's go get it, Devontae, right? Like that is not going to work this week, especially because it's going to come down to Caleb Williams trying to do the exact same thing, which is wait until the fourth quarter to play football, right? And I mean, all credit to him and to Colston Loveland, who was their number 1 receiver. He was so good.
Loveland has been on fire.
So good.
I love him.
And I mean, this could be a game that comes down to the fourth quarter.
Oh, it's going to.
For sure.
Because no matter what the score is, the Rams could be up by 20. It's still going to come down to the fourth quarter. We just saw this game go 20. It was 21-6 by the time they got to the fourth quarter for the Bears Packers. It was 21-3 at one point. But it doesn't matter. I mean, you don't know what the Bears can do in this fourth quarter. So the Rams have to be up. But then also Matthew Stafford is really good in the fourth quarter. So it's going to be a very, very interesting game. I am going to go with the Bears for what you said, though, because Stafford likes to turn over the ball.
Sure.
He has been better this year.
Well, okay. I was going to say he's still been very minimal. I mean, this is still the guy that's MVP probably this season. Drake May, it's a toss-up right now. But, I mean, the thing is, he has the experience that Caleb does not. And while I will say, first of the year, I was like, Caleb Williams sucks, right? I've changed my tune. He's under with Ben Johnson. I think they're got something clicking over there in Chicago. But I mean, Matthew Stafford is Matthew Stafford, right? And so, I mean, I can't pick the Bears in this matchup going against the number 1 offense this year.
See, this is my thing. So the Rams lately have not been the Rams that we were seeing in the middle of the season.
Sure.
Right? They lose to the Seahawks. They lose to the Falcons. They beat the Cardinals handedly, but so does everyone else. And then that Panthers game, we fully, both of us expected them to be able to handle business a lot more than they did. And it was way too close for comfort.
But I think those are games that, like, again, that was the only game we went into last week, wild card weekend, saying this one's the blowout, right? That was the only one. And so for that reason, I think that's like, it's one of those, it's that kind of mentality of like, when you're going against somebody that's like, neck and neck and like, oh man, this can be a dogfight. There's a different motivation and a different standard that you come in with. And I think the Rams last week got stuck in that, oh, we're going to beat these guys no matter what. So it was kind of lackadaisical.
But it's crazy. They thought that when they just lost to them a month ago.
Well, sure. But again, like fluke game, trap game, whatever you want to say.
I do think this is going to be, if this game was in LA, I'd be picking the Rams. But 4 of the 5 losses by the Rams this year have come on the road. This game is in Chicago in January. It's going to be freezing. I mean, I don't know the weather. I don't have to look it up, right? It's Chicago in January. Cold. Like, unless it's a really rare day, or like a rare day would be 40s in January without wind and stuff, right?
You're not wrong.
It's going to be freezing. And Stafford is used to the warmth. Even when he played in Detroit, like he got to play in a dome. Right now, he's had many games in Chicago, so it's not like it's going to be new to him. He played there once a year for the majority of his career. But I will say, last year you could have said the same thing, like, "Oh, well, he's used to playing in Chicago." Well, the Rams went and played in Chicago last year, week 4, and the Rams lost 24-18. Stafford was not good in that game, and that was a September game, so it could have still been chilly in Chicago at that point, but not freezing cold. 0 touchdowns, an interception, a fumble lost. And that was against the bad Bears. I mean, that wasn't with Ben Johnson and them figuring it out. So I think the Bears can win this. I think they've been the better team as of late. I think they can force Stafford into a couple turnovers, a couple interceptions, because they're really, really good at that. And if that's the case, I think they bring it home. Now, the Rams are 3.5-point favorites on the road, so they are on your side.
3.5. Yeah, I mean, I do think it'll be that close. I think it could be the difference of a field goal, right?
Yeah.
But again, I think it comes back to what I've been saying all season long. These quarterbacks that have to put their entire team on their back fourth quarter, at some point, that's got to give. And divisional round of the playoffs seems like the right place for Caleb Williams not to be able to do it.
Yeah. If the Bears are facing a tough defense like the Seahawks, I would say it like, yeah, but I think we saw the Rams give it. They went up 14-0 against the Panthers, and I was like, okay, well, that's it. And they let them come back, and that's the Panthers. So
right.
It's gonna be a close one. Now, this next game we're gonna agree on, and you could be super excited about your Texans. The Texans will go to New England to face them in the divisional round. I mean, I will say for the first 3 quarters, you did not feel good.
I was going to say, let me start. Okay. Go ahead, just as the token Texan here.
Okay.
That game was ugly. Okay. CJ, my little baby here. What were you doing? What are you doing, my friend? I was so worried about the cold. It had nothing to do with the cold. The man couldn't hold the ball. Okay.
Maybe because he was so cold. You shriveled up.
I don't think it was that at all. So, I mean, here's the thing. It was ugly. I did not feel good about it until, about the third quarter. Now, you did say last week, who would you rather have as your quarterback, Kenneth Gainwell or Woody Marks?
Or is your running back?
Yes, running back. Well, guess what? Woody Marks came to ball last week, and I loved it. Okay. He tore up that Steelers defense.
He did.
Okay. The Steelers defense, sure, at the beginning of the game, like maybe the first couple drives, I was like, oh God, this is going to be exhausting. Like I'm exhausted. And then slowly, I feel like the Texans got more like big, and then the Steelers got more small, right, on defense.
Picturing the Mario Party game with the
100%. That's exactly what I was doing. And so, I mean, offensively, ugly. We got a lot to work on, right? Nico Collins getting a concussion, probably out, I assume, for next week. Not good. But Christian Kirk apparently is on the Houston Texans. I forgot. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't. But apparently he is there and, can play football
Unstoppable.
Literally amazing.
It was
So
the most infuriating part of watching that game is watching Christian Kirk destroy your team.
I would imagine so.
The worst.
Yeah, if I was you, I would have been really mad. But then, the defense did what it was supposed to do and what it always does, which I love. And they continued to pressure what's his name?
Aaron
Rodgers. Thank you. Aaron Rodgers. That's embarrassing. Aaron Rodgers. Now, he wasn't on the ground as much as I would have hoped. But the times he was, baby, I mean, that man could not hold on to the ball. I loved it. And then him throwing that interception just literally made me squeal. It was so fun to watch. It was so fun to watch. It was sad to watch her deal with it, but it was so fun. Here's the thing. The Texans, we have to continue to rely on the run. I mean, I think that's massive for this game in New England. I think the most fun storyline here is Drake May who people think he is. Mm-hmm. Because you said it a few weeks ago. You've been saying it for the last, the end of the season. Is he actually as good as we think? Because their record or their schedule was so easy, mm-hmm. right? They go in, sure, they win in LA, but LA was pretty terrible.
I mean, they put up 16 points
in
that game.
And had, 2 turnovers, I think?
And May even said it's due to the defense. I mean, he came out after the game, which I love, and he said, sure, this is not on me. Thank you to the defense. They killed it. Drake May was not good in that game.
No. Which, to be fair, his first playoff game,
Chargers defense is good.
Got some nerves going, right? So I do think he'll be a little more settled in. Mm-hmm. But I love the idea of our defense coming for him, right? I think the only way the Patriots have a shot is if they can get the run on the outside. And I just don't think that's possible because this year they've had some breakout runs by their running backs, right, to score. And it's been whoa, where did that come from? I think that's going to be a huge piece for the Texans defense to stop this week.
Yeah, I mean, I think watching the Patriots offense, it's okay, anyone has a chance to go beat them. Now, it's so hard to know if the Patriots defense was just so dominant or the Chargers are just that bad, right? Yeah. We saw the Chargers fall apart last year against the Texans in the wild card round.
Right.
And I don't know what's going on with the Chargers. Now, their offensive line was in shambles. They lost both of their elite left and right tackle, and their interior offensive line is garbage. And yes, it's all the worst ranked guys across the line. So maybe that's just it. Greg Roman's not very good. That's why he got fired. But I will say with Drake May, he gets pressured a lot. Now, he's overcome that this year, but he was the 3rd highest pressured quarterback this year behind only Herbert and Brissett. He took the 4th most sacks this year. And this Texans defense is going to come after him. I mean, they're going to come after him. So it's rare for a team to have such a good pass rush. And it's not abnormal for a team to have a good pass rush and their secondary be good because that just helps the secondary out.
Sure.
But the players in the secondary on their own are amazing. And Derek Stingley and Jalen Petrie and even Lassiter, their rookie. And I mean, Kalen Bullock can't stop coming up with interceptions. So it's they have these pieces all across the board. And as long as CJ Stroud doesn't fumble the ball and lose it twice and have 3 giveaways,
sure,
he can have 1. No more than that.
Sure.
And I think they can come away with this win.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to execution by the Texans offense and execution by the Patriots defense. Mm-hmm. And whoever wins that battle, I think wins this game.
Yeah. And Woody Marks, I mean, so I was saying last week before the Chargers game, the Patriots have been giving up a lot of rushing yards. Milton Williams, came back. They're one of their defensive tackles that missed all of December, a little bit of November. Run game was really, really bad without him. With him, it's been much better. So it might be hard. They got to run to the outside. Don't run it up the middle. Mm-hmm. We'll see. But I think the Texans can pull this out. And now, I mean, CJ Stroud is one of 5 quarterbacks to make it to the divisional round in each of his first 3 seasons. All the other guys, Russell Wilson, Joe Flacco, Bernie Kosar, and Dan Marino, they all made it to at least one conference championship game.
Oh, that's what we're hoping.
Stroud has to do it. And I mean, 3 of the 4 made it to 2. So
okay. Yeah. What's the money line here?
The Texans are plus 3. So they are 3-point underdogs.
Underdogs.
Yeah,
I mean, you're
the
going
Patriots.
into New England, but I don't think that matters too much.
Yeah.
It's going to be close.
Mhm.
It's going to be close. I'm thinking like 2017.
It's going to be a low score game.
I'm hoping Texans.
The Texans have won 16 straight games when they score at least 20 points dating back to 2024, including the playoffs. They're 12-0 in 2025 when they do that, when scoring. Only team with 0 such losses this year. So hit that 20-point mark and the defense has you. The defense is like, we will not give up 20 points. Just get to the 20-point mark. Offense, it's not that hard. So
yeah.
That's all they got to do.
Yeah.
All they have to do. Moving on to the 49ers, Seahawks. I think the scariest game of the week, the toughest game of the week.
By far.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm taking the 49ers because I'm biased. I'm just going to tell you that right now. You're taking the Seahawks probably
begrudgingly.
I know.
I don't want to. And you know what? When they won last week, I was so happy. I was so happy. Even the 49ers, sorry. Even though I picked the Eagles to win, I'm so glad I was wrong. That's like, there are very few times in life, Michelle, that I'm going to say I'm so glad I was wrong. That was one time.
Well, I hope you're wrong again. This is a very, very stressful one. I mean, like last week, I thought it was a coin flip, and it was pretty much. I mean, that game, there was many moments where it did not look like the 49ers were going to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we just saw this game in week 18, and that was in San Fran, so it's only going to get harder at Seattle. But both of these games this year, they ended 17-13 in week 1 in Seattle with the 49ers winning. And then that last week of the season, 13-3 with the Seahawks winning in San Francisco. It's going to be a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a grind. But I do feel like when we're watching week 18, everything that could possibly go wrong for the 49ers went wrong.
Totally.
And they only allowed 13 points. But every ball bounced the wrong way for them.
Yeah.
Nothing went their way. Even that Christian, like they should have made it where it was a very close game there, where they would have had plenty of time to come back. And then Christian McCaffrey drops a ball. He never does that. Hits it up. It's intercepted. That never happens.
Right.
Ever. And at that point, I do think they could have probably came back and win there. But at that point, it was like, okay, it's just not going to work out for you guys. It's not going to.
Yeah.
So can we talk about the 49ers being 7-point underdogs in this game?
7 is rude.
It's rude.
In a nice way. That's the nice way to say it, I should say.
7-point underdogs.
Like that feels not right. Right? I could see 5, I could see 3, 7 feels rude.
It's very rude. Now, I get it. The Seahawks just won by 10, right? But to put it as a 7-point team, it's just crazy.
When you split in the regular
season,
season, this is matchup 3, which we love matchup 3s, in the playoffs. But I mean, here's the thing. Obviously, the offense was stifled by the Seahawks last week 18, right? Brock Purdy. Here's my biggest thought about Brock Purdy in this game. He has to take more risks with the ball. I know that sounds crazy because you're like, what? The last game they played, he would not throw it beyond the sticks.
Yeah.
And you have to throw it beyond the sticks against the Seahawks, or you're never going to score and you're going to end up with 3 points, right? Yes, losing George Kittle is terrible. But the man didn't play like 7 games this year, okay? And no disrespect to George Kittle, but I think Jake Tonjes is actually very good. He didn't play a snap in week 18. I think that was a huge mistake on the 49ers part. They have to get him involved. And now he's going to have to be, obviously. Yeah. I think they should have went 2 tight ends, but that's just me. So I think they have to give him more opportunity.
Jake Tonjes touchdown. It's going to happen.
Listen, I mean, they have to. Mm-hmm. They have to treat him like he's George Kittle.
No, well, yeah, in some ways. But Jake Tonjes should definitely be used in the red zone. He's been very good at scoring touchdowns. He's the reason they beat the Seahawks in week 1. It was a Jake Tonjes touchdown to end the game, and that's why they won, which was crazy because Kittle got hurt. Kittle scored a touchdown on that first drive, got hurt on the second drive, and then Tonjes, they didn't score again until that last drive where Tonjes ended up winning the game. Now, Purdy is 4-0 on the road at the Seahawks in his career.
Wow.
It's tied for the longest quarterback win streak at Seattle at any point in a career all time. It's tied with Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. So we'll see if he can break the record and make it 5. But I will say the 49ers did not put pressure on Sam Darnold in week 18.
At all.
And I'm not even talking about pressure like quarterback pressure where you like pass rush. Like, that's just not going to happen. They don't have the edge rushers for it. They don't have the personnel for it. But they didn't stop the run to make Sam Darnold get into any frustrating situations to make him get in his head. They have to do that. So, I mean, Sam Darnold in his 2 matchups against the 49ers this year, he has 0 touchdowns and 1 giveaway. And he won one of the games.
Yeah, they rely on the run game against the 49ers, rightfully so. I mean, like you just said, I mean, they need to pound the ball running wise, break down that defense, get them real tired by the end of the game, because you're right. The difference is Sam Darnold does not score against the 49ers. So if he wants a chance, he's got to throw the deep ball and try to get a touchdown.
Yeah, we'll see. They have to force him. I don't know how they do it. Now, maybe Fred Warner could be back. He's back at practice. This would be so huge if Fred Warner can be back. It's a toss-up. Maybe he won't be back till next week, and they would have to win, obviously, for him to get to play. But he's back at practice, and he looks good. And I think this is going to be this is going to be the hardest game of the playoffs, I think, no matter what.
Yeah.
So get him out there if he can play.
Yeah, because if you win, you're either playing Rams or the Bears.
Yeah, which are both hard, but
sure. But no, I think if you can get through Seattle, you'd be looking pretty good.
Well, you did pick the Seahawks, and I'll give you a reason why there's a good shot they can win. So the Seahawks last played a game on January 3rd. That will be 13 days of rest that they get in between their games. The 49ers will have 5 days of rest.
Oof.
Since 1984, teams with 8+ days of rest advantage versus opponents are 7-0 in the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I would think, I mean, I get having rest is great, but like, I mean, I would think that like that's a long time to not play.
Their bodies are tired and they get the rest.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I'm thinking of like college when Ohio State had like 1 billion days off and then they just got like throttled right in the playoffs. So, yeah, I guess 13's not that many, but like it sounds crazy to me.
Yeah. It's an 8-day difference, which is pretty big. Mm-hmm. But there has to be some streak that ends. It's that one, or the 49ers are 7-0 in the wild card and divisional rounds under Kyle Shanahan.
Or like the Steelers winning on 23 Monday night games. It had to end. So might as well be against the Texans.
Okay. Okay. The 49ers are 7-1 since Brock Purdy returned from his toe injury. The only loss was against those Seahawks in week 18. We'll see if they can change that up. Last game, we got the Bills at the Broncos. I really thought you were going to take the Broncos, but we're both taking the Bills. I'm actually surprised by that.
Really?
Yeah. Didn't you take who did the Bills play last week? You took the Jags last week.
I did.
Okay, so
but then Trevor Lawrence was Trevor Lawrence. So I was again happy to be wrong.
Yeah. What it comes down to with this game is that we trust Josh Allen more than anybody else.
Josh Allen. Here's the thing. It's so stressful, I think. This is the year, right? Everybody says, all right, Josh, if you want it, it's yours for the taking, right? There's no Lamar Jackson to go up against. There's no Jalen Hurts to go against. There's no Patrick Mahomes to get through, right? There is no other quarterback currently in the playoffs that everyone like consensus would say, come on, Josh, you got to beat this guy, right? Mm-hmm. So that leads me to believe it's now or never, right? For Josh Allen, which could go one of two ways, which will go one of two ways. I sound like Tony Romo right now. This is going to be a game that the Bills are going to have to figure out how to run the ball. They were terrible last week running the ball against the Jags. They've got to figure out a way to do it against Denver. They have to. Now, that might just be Josh Allen running the ball, right? Because their wide receiver core is meh, right? You've got Gabe Davis, who you said was going to have a great game, who had a pretty decent game, got hurt, so now he's out for the season. But, this is going to come down to, can Josh Allen again take the team and put him on his back?
Now, these two teams played in the playoffs last year, and the Bills destroyed them. Now, that was in Buffalo. That was Bo Nix's rookie season. So maybe with another year under his belt. But I feel like Bo Nix was a better quarterback last year than he was this year.
Sure.
And the Bills, again, destroyed them 31-7. The Broncos only scored on that first drive and then did not score again.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think this Broncos offense is very good. I think Bo Nix can be beat. And Josh Allen, yes, it's a very hard defense. Run defense is good, pass defense is good, but with him, it doesn't matter because he's gonna spread the ball around. He's gonna figure it out. He's gonna run. James Cook is gonna run, and the Bills do have the number one pass defense. So I feel like everyone thinks like the Bills defense is so bad. Like, yeah, they allow a lot of rushing yards, but they do have the number one pass defense. They can make plays when they need to, and the Broncos really don't have a run game. Like,
I was going to say, but lucky for them, the Broncos don't have a running game. They have been unreliable at best since J.K. Dobbins got hurt early in the seasons. They're trying to work in R.J. Harvey, but it just has been kind of unreliable for the Broncos. So that's going to be their biggest hope in this game, is to get a running game going against this Bills, because like you said, the passing is not going to be really a great option.
Yeah, it's not. And Bo Nix lately has been really, really bad. A sub 90 pass rating in 8 of his last 9 games. The Bills have been very, very good on defense, and they've allowed a sub 90 pass rating to their opponent's starting quarterback in each of their last 5 games. They're 11-2 this season when the opposing quarterback does not have a 90 pass rating or above.
Well, here's the deal. When Bo Nix holds the ball, he makes mistakes. That's just the reality. And it's very much so like Trevor Lawrence last week, right? He was red hot. He was balling, right, for the last 5-7 games of the season. And he got embarrassed last week because he had to hold the ball and he was kind of questioning what to do, and he chunked it. And then guess what? Turnover, right? So I think it could be a very similar defensive scheme for the Bills against this Denver Broncos offense and Bo Nix specifically.
Yeah, I could see this game being close for the first half, and then the Bills figuring it out in offense and how to beat the defense, and then they just end up blowing them out. The one thing Nix is really, really good at is throwing on the run. He leads the league over those 2 seasons and throwing on the run and pass attempts and passing yards, but the Bills have allowed the lowest completion percentage against quarterbacks throwing on the run this year.
Yeah.
So I think all of that to say Bo Nix has a very hard situation coming ahead of him. And I mean, Josh Allen has to make the Super Bowl this year. This is his chance.
Now or never. Like I said, it's now or never, Josh.
Yeah. And it stinks it has to all be on the road, but figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for our games, but we still have our 2-minute warning. Well, we'll get into our divisional round MVP. And I know Nycole's going to be very excited about my MVP or MVPs.
2-minute warning.
All right, let's give our MVP for the divisional round. Who's going to come through the most, give their team the win, and be the reason why it happened? Nycole, who you got?
Man, I don't feel good about this, but I do think that if it happens, it's the reason why they won.
Okay.
But it's RJ Harvey. I mean, it is.
You went with the Bills.
I know, but I did this last week. I did this last week. And it worked out for me because I picked Kenneth Gainwell and he was non-existent. So
are you just trying to jinx it? Is that
maybe it's subconscious, but I do believe that when it comes down to it, if anybody's going to knock out Josh Allen,
it's going to be RJ Harvey
in these playoffs. It's going to be the Denver run. Now, it might not just specifically be RJ Harvey, but I do believe if their offense can figure out how to run the ball against these Bills and win, man, that's saying something. That's really saying something. So, yes, I have Denver's running game as the MVP if they can make it happen.
All right. I'm going to go with Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. I'm going to give it both because I don't know which one's going to do it. I think they both can. I think they have to get out after Drake May, and they should. May was sacked 5 times in the wild card game against the Chargers, and it was not a good game for him. I mean, an 86 pass rating, only 1 touchdown, 1 interception, a 58 completion percentage. Like, he got rattled. And the Patriots only scored 16 points. They're going to have to do that again. And the Patriots, I mean, not the Patriots, the Texans defense is elite. We've talked about this, but you have Danielle Hunter, who had 15 sacks in the regular season, third most in the NFL. Will Anderson just put up a casual 12 sacks too, like insane, tied for 8th most in the NFL. They were the only team since 2020 to have multiple players with at least 12 sacks in a single season. And then Will Anderson this year, with quarterback pressures, he was 2nd in the league with 85, behind only Aiden Hutchinson on the year. So they're going to pressure May. They're going to get there. Now, can they turn them into sacks? Can they turn them into turnovers? That's the key. But if they do that, they're winning this game. I mean, they're winning the game, and they have to be the MVPs of this team.
Totally. I agree with you. And just a shameless plug, really, if you haven't seen the video of Will Anderson Jr. figuring out he was first team All-Pro, Google it. It's
very cute.
So great.
All right, that will be it for today's episode. We hope that your favorite teams win your divisional rounds. If they're already out, I'm sorry.
Go Texans.
Go Texans, go 49ers. Root for that. We'll talk to you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to The Analyst in the Armchair. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on socials, leave us a review, and comment to let us know what you'd like to hear next time.